Hi, everyone. How was your Tuesday? I hope it was a good day for you, and maybe you're just getting ready to relax for the night. And yeah, just kind of coming down off your day. And tonight's video is going to be it's one that I think is just it's about such powerful stuff, and it's so subtle. So, and I'm going to try to do just really clear examples tonight. And so this is comes from talking about codependence, how we unknowingly teach our kids codependence, not meaning to, of course, but we do. And by that, how we do that is we we're used to, hi Lindsay, we are used to really teaching our kids unknowingly to orient outside of themselves for approval and for what's next. And so tonight we're going to talk about how shifting from that praise piece, so which comes from really good intentions, it comes from the intentions of really wanting to support kids and doing good things, doing what they need to, having empathy for others. And we need to switch that a little bit to really send our kids, to be able to send our kids off into adulthood in a way. So I'm going to start out just by reading a little poem, or not a poem, but just a little saying that is so powerful. It's what this is about. So this is how it goes. So, a bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking, because the bird's trust is not on the branch, but on its own wings. So, and the author, whoever said that, it's unknown. I don't know the source. I actually heard that today in a training call I was on. And I just thought it was so powerful, because we're still sort of working with this as adults. And maybe we wouldn't need to be working on this so hard. Maybe our kids won't have to be working on this hard if we can sort of switch gears a little bit in how we affirm what they're doing rather than using praise. So I'm going to just go to another little piece here that has to do with that little saying about the bird. It puts its trust in the branch or in its own wings. And that is another saying, and that is that security is an illusion. And that's really hard to hear. I think we can sort of all feel right now how that's true, how we're sort of needing to pivot and figure out, how do we do our businesses online, or how do we do schooling online? How do we adapt? So when we parent our kids from this new way that I'm going to talk to you about, we make it much more natural for them to really be oriented from within here, rather than looking out there for what's next or out there for their security. We teach them to really move from in here and trust what's in here. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about inside out parenting, because that's what this is about. It's really teaching kids to trust what's in here, and our parenting is about really bringing that forth. What's already inside them, the intelligence that's already inside them, versus teaching them that how they're doing, if they're okay or not, if they're approved of or not, if they're going to be okay or not from out here. Okay, so Parenting from the Inside Out is a fantastic book by Daniel Siegel, but where he talks about this. And so I'm going to just give you some examples of, am I parenting from the inside out, meaning I'm nurturing this, which is my kid already, or am I parenting from the outside in? I'm sort of trying to shape who they're supposed to be. I'm trying to shape them into a decent human being, versus I'm trusting what's already in here and I'm bringing that out. So inside out, well, I'm going to give you some examples first of parenting from a place of praise. And again, it comes from love. It comes from we are trying to help our kids. And praise might sound like when our child does an art project. First thing what we say is, "Oh, that's so beautiful, honey." And again, I know this comes from love. So we might say if they got an A on their project, "Oh, good job, you did a good job, way to go." Or if they're kind to a sibling or a neighbor, that's the way you want to be. I'm so proud of you. Okay, so notice this, that's outside in, it comes from love. But what if we were just to shift that a little bit to inside out? So inside out would go more like when our child has done a piece of art they are really liking and they show it to you. With that, we might say, instead of good job or beautiful, we might say, "Oh, honey, I noticed you used a lot of green and look at all of the purple in that sky. It looks like you were doing lots of colors." So notice how that is, it's kind of subtle, but we're noticing what they chose. We're noticing what they were doing in that art. We're noticing what was important to them. We're noticing their curiosity, their discovery versus we're putting a stamp of approval on it, on whether it was good or not, on whether it's beautiful or not. So can you see how that's orienting kids to be aware of what's in here versus, "Oh, okay, I guess it's beautiful. Good, it's beautiful." And then so many kids, when they are trying, they get stuck because they're afraid it's not good enough and not beautiful. So that's how we can help them to come back in here. Or if a child is, let's say they're kind to their sibling or to a neighbor, might say, "Wow, honey, I noticed it was really important to you, or it seemed to matter to you to help your brother or to help our neighbor. I'm really noticing that." And then just pausing. So that's sort of drawing them back in here to what's inside versus, again, they got a stamp of approval and that means they're okay for now, right? So I hope this makes sense, guys. So I'm going to talk just a little bit more about that. So a little bit more about inside out parenting, which is more we're anchoring them in here with who they are, with values that you're seeing them express, things that they're choosing. You're orienting them in here with their own processes of discovery, being curious, learning. So praise, sort of that old parenting way that again comes from love, but praise teaches kids to orient outside of themselves, being anchored in what's in here. We'll think of that as bird's wings, that it doesn't matter if the branch breaks or not. The bird has its wings and knows it can fly. It'll be okay when the branch breaks. So if we're anchored in here, what we're doing is we're growing a strong sense of self. We're helping them to know and trust themselves, to trust who they are. So what does that mean for their safety when they go into adulthood and they're in a situation that's, a little iffy? If they're oriented in here, are they going to trust this and be able to move from that place like that? Or if they're oriented out here for what's next or approval, are they going to get sort of confused or maybe follow the lead of someone else because they're used to looking for approval out here? So with praise, again, praise can really teach our kids to orient from a place of performing to feel good about themselves. Nothing wrong with performing or achieving, but it's great when it comes from a place of, I want that. Doing that to maybe because I know it helps others, or okay, So being anchored in here helps kids to be less likely to be a follower. If I'm anchored out here, if I'm oriented out here, I'm always looking for what's next, often looking for what's next. It determines a lot of how I'm feeling based on what's happening out here. So if I'm oriented in here, I am feeling like I can adapt. I'll be okay. So that's about it for tonight, you guys. I hope that was helpful. And again, so a way to really use this is to think, am I parenting from really drawing my child's strengths out, their values out by noticing that they choose, that they're doing? Or am I sort of parenting from the outside in with that stamp of approval or not? So I hope that was helpful, and I will see you next time. I wish you a good night. Bye.